Turkey Day to you. Happy Turkey Day to you, Rapids fans. And to my friend Yahir. Turkey Day extravaganza on the DNVR Rapids Show. Welcome to the Toyota Lounge. It's DNVR Rapids with your favorite turkeys, Yahir and Duane. How's it going? Day before Thanksgiving, Yahir. How's life?
Not good, Duane.
Not good.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Was it my singing? It's not. Is that?
No, that actually gave me.
I thought that was joyful and full of turkey love.
I was very confused. I thought it was Santa Claus for a minute, telling me Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh man, you don't even know my Santa Claus singing. That's coming up.
Hopefully
after
not.
Thanksgiving.
Hopefully
that's a post Thanksgiving. We don't do Christmas Santa singing until after Thanksgiving.
Do the lyrics just change?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it's biological. It's science is how that works. Yeah, it's the day before Thanksgiving. A lot of people are not at work. So those of you that are at work or not at work, thanks for jumping into the chat already. We're happy to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
I love your optimism. Don't agree with any of it, but I love it so much.
Yeah, talking about some smashing the like button for the Rapids' new coach. Yeah, we're going to talk that. We're going to talk U.S. men's national team. The Rapids roster decisions just dropped 30 minutes ago. We're going to get into that. There's some things happening over at Summit FC. There is so much to talk about. So let's jump straight into it. One of the biggest news items before we jump into the Rapids roster decision is just the MLS in general. The schedule is officially changing. This is news that's been around, for a week or so now, but it's the first time that we've gotten to talk about it. It's switching. So it's going to start now early-ish July and go through December and then stop in December, come back in mid-February, and then go to April. There'll be some playoffs going into May. And then you have May, June, and the first probably weekish of July off, versus now, which starts in February and goes through November. How you feeling about that, Yahir?
Real quick, I'm going to be completely honest. This is the first time I opened the roster decisions page up, and I just got a pit in my stomach, like a real damn pit.
Save it. We're going to get to it.
Save it. Like, I have thoughts, and I'm, like, extremely angry right now and pissed off.
Let's go. We got a Yahir rant coming.
Anytime the Rapids are involved, like, there's no other attitude to have with them right now. They're just not. But, okay, regardless.
Stay tuned, folks. Yahir rant incoming.
I really like the MLS schedule change. I like it for the reason that it aligns you with the rest of the world.
Sure.
It makes it a lot easier to get players in, get players out. If you want to plan friendlies, especially for international competitions, it was always so weird to me that you're playing during the summertime during a Gold Cup or World Cup and you have to adjust your whole regular season calendar to try to accommodate some of these players.
And you're playing them in their preseason for those friendlies.
Exactly. And it's so difficult. I mean, it makes it so hard for teams like Inter Miami, who I think a lot of people hate, but I think they have brought a lot good to the league as well. Makes it hard for teams like LAFC, teams that are like the premier teams in the league that have multiple international players, not be at the best, and you're starting to make the MLS product, you're starting to water down the MLS product. With this change, now you're competing at the highest level at all times. You're also aligned with the Liga MX schedule, which also helps out for when it comes to Champions Cup, and when it comes to Leagues Cup, because then you have the top tier competition on both sides because they're both in form or they're both starting their season instead of trying to adjust everything around it. I think it just makes it a lot more even. But there's a lot of downsides to the schedule as well. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think this is a good stepping stone to the league being a legitimate contender in the world of soccer.
I think it's a sort of end justifies the means situation.
Yeah.
Like for MLS, I think it's a good thing for MLS, right? Because of all the things that you just mentioned, mostly with things lining up, I think having transfers be more friendly. A guy's not going to want to come to MLS, or at least not going to be super excited about finishing their season and then jumping right into mid-season of MLS. Like that's a lot of wear and tear right off the bat with your new job. So I do think, with transfers and things like that, it's really good. The reason I say ends justifies the means, I think it's good for MLS, but I think there are teams that are going to suffer.
Rapids.
And I think the Colorado Rapids are one of those teams that's going to suffer for it. One of the best things about going to watch the Colorado Rapids play are those summer nights in the middle of the summer where everywhere else in the United States is miserable and humid, and we have the best weather on the planet in the summer. It's gorgeous out there at Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
All year round. We have the best weather all year
round.
round.
I don't know about soccer weather, though.
Not soccer weather. By the way, Wiley11 in the chat, we'll get into why Messi's in Colorado. So stick around. Keep tuned.
Yeah,
we will
that's
get
coming
to that.
up.
But
I think like that. So we're going to miss some of those summer games.
Or the July game is now off the books.
I know, which is, I still think that July 4th will still be at Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
It's just not going to have a game attached.
It's just not going to have that. I mean, we've had that forever. It's such a staple of Denver. And it's a great way to get casuals out and get some interest in the club. So that's a bummer. Those winter games, we have the data. This is not anybody complaining or crying about things. I've heard people like MLS Moves, Taylor Twellman talk about the schedule's 91% the same. You live in sunny places. Like one of them lives in the Southeast, like I think Kentucky or
Atlanta,
Tennessee.
and stuff like
you
that,
don't live in Colorado. So like your opinion is not valid here.
We have had the Snow Classicos are a thing in Colorado for a reason.
Yeah, they shouldn't be the norm. They should be like outliers.
I don't think
there's not going to be a ton of games in the cold weather. I think one place I was reading, you can't have like 3 games at home or 3 games on the road in a row.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen for a lot of these cold climate teams is they'll probably be on the road for those February into March, but you can only have 2 at a time. So I think you're probably going to have a game in February, 1 or 2 in March. And a lot of people, probably who aren't watching the show because they live somewhere else in that Rapids hater world, where they're going, well, it's in March. That is our snowiest month of the year. Like, stop saying, you have winter break. You have winter break. Look, I grew up in the Southeast. I know what the weather is like in the winter in the Southeast, and then it clears up in March. It doesn't do that here. Which is going to get us to this messy conversation, Wiley. Like we're getting there. Plus games in October, games in November, attendance is going to drop. We have the data. When the weather is cold and bad, people don't show up.
And that's just in
and
general.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Like that's being a human. Like don't get me wrong. There's plenty of sickos like C38 is out there.
C38's going to suffer so much pneumonia if this team scores goals.
And they're out there and they're still, supporting the club. But for the most part, like attendance is way down on that. So I do think clubs like the Rapids are going to suffer their overall attendance numbers. That's just data. That's facts. That's based on numbers that we have by looking at those games in the past.
I will say though, it could be both an advantage and a disadvantage. We already have that altitude working for us. The Rapids already have that so what a better way to make the Dick or wherever they're playing at that time into a fortress, right?
Sure.
You have to come into Colorado on a snowy Saturday with the altitude playing against you. It's like if the team is smart, they can make that into an advantage. Now,
Sure.
don't make it your whole damn identity like you try to do with the altitude, but you can use it towards your advantage. And let's say you have an Inter Miami coming in town from southern Florida.
Sure.
What do? Play them on a cold day, right? Take advantage. You know they're not going to be able to handle it. Why don't you go out and try to score that first goal? Bunker down. They can play in the winter, and it's going to help.
Sure. As much as we hate RSL, it was hilarious to see LAFC lose to RSL and Colorado. Like, that's that Rocky Mountain advantage early in the season. Like, we all got a good laugh. It's a rare bonding moment for Rapids and RSL fans to point and laugh at someone else. And I was in that post-game presser with LAFC, and, their coach was crying about it. And it's just like, you guys are fine changing the schedule, but let me tell you, when you come here and play in the cold, I don't want to hear any bitching. I don't want to hear any moaning and crying from any coaches or players from other teams. I don't want to hear it from fans because their team lost in the cold or the snow. Don't want to hear it. Your opinion is invalid. Like, you chose this. You cried and you're rubbing the Rapids, into this sort of thing. And now when you have to play us in the snow and you lose, no crying. You say, thank you. Thank you for letting us experience a snow game. And then you shut up and move on.
It's also going to be difficult, I think, for the league to get more exposure during these times.
Sure.
It could either be like a really cool thing or a really bad thing, or you have like, all 5 major sports are playing right now in the U.S., but then the MLS falls into the shuffle of, is anybody really watching this? The one advantage the MLS had in the summertime was that anybody could watch it at any time because nothing else was on except for baseball. And who cares about that, in all honesty?
The Rockies are a tough watch.
Exactly. So I think the Rapids will suffer from that, but I also think the league as a whole. Now, the new deal that they cut with Apple where they released it, it's no longer a whole thing where it's just they have to pay yearly or monthly. It's now
if
just
you have
part of
Apple
your
TV, you can just watch it now.
I think that's going to also help some of this a little bit, but there's still a barrier there where you got to pay extra money to watch it, and not everybody wants to pay that. Because you could have just paid for the MLS if that was the case. So I think the MLS has a lot of things to figure out right now of how they're going to broadcast. And now that they have more competition because they're switching to that schedule, it's going to be really hard for them to capture more attention. And I think it's just going to lead to them trying to get more big names into the league.
I think that would be awesome.
I think that's where it's going to head towards. I think it's just them going to try to like go and get bigger names every transfer window because they're competing with the Denver Nuggets. They're competing with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're competing with the Brewers,
the Broncos, and the Avs,
everybody. Like, competition just became a lot stiffer for that same audience. That's a sports fan audience. So it's like you already have your core. How do you expand that to get more people to watch your product on a Saturday? Because you're also competing with college football now.
Sure.
So it's like how much is that how difficult is that gonna be?
It's a tough look. I think overall we agree for the league it's good. Yeah. There are some teams that are gonna suffer for it. Attendance wise, in the chat, Cole Bassett's left foot. As fans, we need to suck it up. Freezing cold, that develops character. Icy roads, plan ahead. Gangrene, you lose that foot. And you get gangrene from getting frostbite on those Cole Bassett left foot toesies.
Yeah, suck it up.
So better have a Cole Bassett's left sock and foot warmer on there for sure. So big changes. MLS schedule is changing. This will be the last season, 2026. Of a sort of regular MLS season. It's going to get weird a little bit because World Cup is happening. And then 2027 is going to be very strange. It's going to be like a pandemic season. It's going to be 14 games and then playoffs.
I think that's going to be really fun.
It's going to be a mad sprint.
Which is going to be the best part of it,
could
right?
be super cool. Yeah.
This is the one chance that the Rapids have to win the league. Start off hot, end hot, and win the playoffs. Like,
get that asterisk trophy. Who cares?
Like, go for it. Like, it's 100 years from now when they say you have 2 league cups, they're just gonna be like, nobody's gonna care how you got them. You
get that second star. Get it. Yeah, I mean that's a good opportunity. But yeah, it's going to be a 14-game sprint to the playoffs. Every game will matter. Every 3 points on the line will matter. That season's going to be crazy, and it could be super duper fun.
I think the league change in calendar year also might benefit people like me that want a new stadium or want improvements to Dick's, because
Sure.
if you want to make that into a viable venue where you can use it all year round, now that not just the summertime, you used to have the excuse, well, it's only available in the wintertime. Now it's going to be available in the summertime. Like if you want to buy
they would
option,
cram in those concerts. You know, the Fish concert would get crammed. I mean, the Fish concert left, but it used to get crammed into
on their bye-week international break.
Yeah, that little break that we would have. And now they've got a good 6 weeks in the summer to do some other programming at the Dick, which would be, could be some cool concerts and things
maybe
to see
it's
out
like
there.
Make improvements, get another stadium. This is the time to do it, because then you actually have the advantage of you making it into a year-round event center, not just hey, we have this where it's basically in the summertime. It's just a soccer venue, basically.
Yeah. Cole Bassett's left foot also saying Dick Sporting Goods Park needs to up their hot beverages game. They're always lacking in hot chocolate during those games. It's true, because I usually buy 2, 1 for each hand. I don't drink them. I remember Snow Classico 1 and 2. I purchased 2 each half just to hold. I didn't even drink them. I just needed them to stay warm. None of those little cup, protectors, the sleeves. Nope, just holding them to keep my hands warm.
They should actually have a. They should actually have a what's it called? Hand warmer station.
Idea.
Like you should be able to. Yeah, like you should be able to buy hand warmers at the stadium.
Yes, and yes, Wiley. That is, of course, that's what it is.
Why would he come to Colorado?
Messi is not joining the Colorado Rapids.
I said Messi in Colorado. It says Messi in Colorado. It doesn't say
he's coming
Messi
here,
New Rapid.
So, yeah. Anyway, another good point here by Oscar. Dick's is hell on a cold, super windy early spring day. They need to customize and winterize the crumbling joint, or we'll be empty all winter long. Yeah, there's some upgrades that could be made for sure. We've been talking about that every year forever.
The benches are going to be hell.
Well, they fixed the benches. They got those nice seats now. Well, and they can put those little covers back over.
But don't they have the benches on the corner still?
Oh, you mean for us?
Yeah.
That's where I
don't care about the players. The benches are things.
Yeah, the bench. Yeah, the benches.
Those benches are going to be hell. They're going to be cold. It's going to be incredibly bad.
Counterpoint though to what Oscar's saying, those super windy. Yes, Colorado in the spring is insane windy. The one tree in our yard that we had ended up on top of our house. Now we have no trees because of that wind. Those days are crazy. That could make for some wild soccer.
It's going to
be fun. The strategy is just going to have to be different. You're certainly not going to be launching them over the midfield to try to get that you drop in because that's not going to work on those windy days.
Nope.
So who knows? But there it is. The schedule is changing. Overall, probably a good thing for MLS. Maybe a bad thing for Rapids. Time will tell. We'll know after this season. This is the last one, and then we'll be able to see how it really does change things. But change is coming, whether you like it or not. It's on the way. We are going to jump into roster decisions that just came out 30 minutes ago. He's cooking over here. I can see him seething with whatever this rant
touch on
is.
The schedule for next year first.
The schedule?
Well, like the big games coming up. The schedule release for the Rapids before we go into roster decisions?
Yeah, we can jump into that. I was going to throw it all together.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll just throw all the Rapids stuff together. All right. So we're going to talk about the new schedule, what games to look forward to. Wiley's certainly looking forward to it in the chat. Roster decisions, all that stuff. just on the other side. But before we do that, we've got to talk about our sponsors who keep the lights on here at DNVR Rapids. And we're going to start with Who This Lounge. Who This Studio is named after. It's our partners at Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA. For generations, Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, there's a Toyota truck just right for you. Like that all-new 2025 Tacoma and the return of the iconic Land Cruiser. You may want one of those depending on how the weather's going with this MLS schedule change. You may be driving to Dick's Sporting Goods Park in the snow, and you're going to want to do that in one of these Toyotas. They offer 17 models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the Epic 4Runner, to help you get through that weather. We've had great weather so far here in Colorado, but it was chilly this morning. The snow's coming. The weather's coming. What better vehicle to have than a Toyota and get up into the mountains, go play in the snow, go play in the weather. If you are earth conscious, there are 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max hybrid truck, Toyota SUVs. Take command on the road and on the trail and on the snow so you can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides and SUVs like the RAV4 and Grand Highlander. I do that every week. Highlander.
What's the highlight of your week?
I'm an artist. I just love highlighters. I love pens and markers.
It's the highlight of the road when you have a Highlander.
It is. Everyone's going to be looking at you as you pass them going through the snow up into the mountains, wishing they were also in a Toyota. So how do you get one of these sweet Toyotas? Well, friends, you can visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. And, you know, it's the official vehicle of DNVR. Don't forget, Toyota is also a proud partner of the Colorado Rapids. The whole reason we're enjoying the show together. So, hit the road, folks.
And after you hit the
Toyota.
And after you hit the road and you've protected your family, protect your feet while you're walking to your Toyota with Brunt workwear. It's one of the best work shoes you can get out there, and they're super stylish. How I said, my dad got a pair because like we were talking about, and he loves them very much. That steel toe, that composite toe, it really helps him out quite a bit. He enjoys it a lot. They look good. It's one of those few items that they have a Carhartt feeling where you can wear outside on a day or you can wear it while you're working. It's very practical. And now that the MLS schedule is changing, you might want better work footwear for that outside weather, for that winter. And this is the perfect shoe for it. Slip resistant, all that good stuff. It's going to be a great shoe to wear to Rapids games.
If you're a Cole Bassett's left foot, you might want a left-footed Brunt boot to wear to these new MLS schedule games.
You might need to, and they're gorgeous, man. The Marin, I think it's pronounced. Let me look this up real quick because I do not want to be messing this up.
They are good-looking shoes.
The Marin and the Omen are the two best-looking shoes I've seen for workwear out there.
Sure.
They're extremely comfortable. My dad enjoys it a lot, and he's a mechanic. It's some of the best footwear he's had. So, with temps dropping and holidays coming up, it's time to treat yourself or the hardworking man in your life to real comfort. Skip the throwaway gifts and get him something built to last. Brunt Workwear. Our listeners get $10 off their entire order with code DNVR at checkout. That's bruntworkwear.com and use code DNVR. Order today and let them know you heard it here on the show. Please let them know you heard it from the Rapids. They're going to love it. They're going to be like, hell yeah, Rapids, let's go.
That's right.
So
All right.
Go get your Brunt work.
Go get your Brunt.
Yeah, go get your Brunt.
Throw your Brunt shoes on, jump in a Toyota, drive through the snow to get to Dick's Sporting Goods Park in 2028 with the new schedule. Speaking of the new schedule, the Rapids and MLS released their schedule. There's one game in particular happening in April that someone has jumped into the show, Wiley, just to bring up. What do you think about the schedule? Is there a game that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, the Inter Miami game. Come on, man. It's gonna be, you finally get to see Leo Messi in Colorado. Hopefully, knock it on wood, hoping that all happens because he is known to sit out for half of the season, and many fans get disappointed he doesn't play. And Wiley, we'll get to that question here in a minute about how many years it'll take for be a legitimate team, but. That Messi game, man, it's like that's going to be your sellout game of the year.
Sure.
If you probably have to play it at ML High. You probably can't play it at Dick because the demand for tickets is going to be so high. I don't know if they've already announced if it's going to play it in there or not.
They have not.
But it's going to have to be there, man, especially when you have a player like Leo Messi, and then you also have other people, they're probably gonna make some new additions to that team too. With Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba both retiring after the year, they're probably gonna have some more money to play around with. They're gonna bring in some more big name players. So to me, that team is the team to watch for, and that game is gonna be a sellout immediately, and it's gonna be one of the best games of the year. And you already have the track record where the Rapids can match up against Miami and Messi, where they drew 2-2 on his comeback.
Yeah. Do you think Messi's gonna? I mean, that's the big question.
I think.
Do you think Messi is gonna? Do you think Messi is gonna come and play at Colorado?
If they play at Mile High, I think there's a 60-40 chance he does. If they play at the Dick, I think there's a 10% chance that he doesn't. I mean, there's a 10% chance that he does play.
A 10% chance that he does play if it's
at the Dick.
I think it's weather based. April is not. I mean, April could be. So we were talking about this on Twitter this morning with someone. It could be in mid-April. It could be 80 degrees and sunny and beautiful, or it could be 3 feet of snow and a blizzard. There's no telling. So I'm curious as to when the announcement will come out. I think it will be a week of announcement, whether or not Messi will play or even be on the plane. And I think it will be weather. I think location as well. I don't know, man. Maybe he'll play in Commerce City. I mean,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think he'll play in Commerce City, man.
I feel like the weather and the health thing is more of a deal for him. I don't think, given I don't know anything about Messi's brain. I don't know. Does he care? I mean, dude just seems like he just wants to score goals. And does he care like what size the venue is?
He cares. I don't think it's about him. I think it's about the team.
The team forcing him to get rest.
Yeah, I think the team will be like, you're playing in Commerce City. Who gives a shit? Don't show up. Like, it's the Rapids. Like, but if they get a bigger stadium and because it also helps Inter Miami grow their brand. Unfortunately, so like that's something they want. But if they're playing at Dick's, who gives a fuck? Like they're like,
I do.
We do. Well, like the team, I think Inter Miami is gonna be like
the casuals.
Yeah,
right?
It's gonna be like, who gives a fuck? Like that Beckham's played there. It's a good stadium for Beckham. Son has played. Like plenty of legends have played there. Well, you're talking about the greatest player of all time. You're talking about Michael Jordan showing up and trying to play in East High School instead of Ball Arena. Why would you play there if you have to? No, like you're gonna show up and play at the biggest stadium in this area. So why wouldn't you do that?
I'll tell you, if he ducks, the Rapids better bury Miami like 10-0.
That team is really regardless.
So that they were like, crap, we should have brought Messi. We underestimated the Rapids, how much we needed Messi. So anyway, that's probably the biggest news on the schedule. The schedule's online. You can check it out. Unless you already know which games you're looking forward to, drop it in the chat. Okay. So the question came in the chat, and I think this gets to our next little segment here is, in how many years do you think we can become a legitimate team? because it's MLS and because the parity in MLS, you don't need any years at all. We saw LA Galaxy win the cup and then be one of the worst teams in MLS within just a couple of months.
They literally went like this.
Yeah,
they were,
I mean,
shit, won the cup, shit.
Yeah,
like, right around.
Because I mean, that's what's great about MLS is the parity. It also depends on how you define that. Like legitimate team, does that include like a timeline? Does that mean like perennial playoff team for 3-4 years in a row? Is that how you define legitimate? Or does it mean just like, hey man, we're not that great and then we win the cup next year and then we're not great again, aka the LA Galaxy story? Does that mean you're legitimate? I would take that. Cup is a cup.
You just want to be like a legit contender
yeah.
like a year or two.
I just want people to for me, like the definition is I just want a little respect. Like when we tweeted out that the MLS schedule was changing, we didn't put an opinion on it. We just put a picture of snowy Dick's Sporting Goods Park and say, hey, schedule's changing. And people were just like, stop crying. We're now Colorado. Like Eric Winalda like retweeted it and was like putting out like snarky things. I'm like, when the hell have you cared about the Rapids other than just try to dogpile on it, Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know. It's so goofy and stupid, but so my thing is like, legitimacy for me is respect and a little bit of fear. I want people to not want to have to play the Rapids. Like that's what I want, as far as we define legitimacy.
I think that's the main thing. I also think it's the Rapids themselves are about an ownership away from being legit contenders. I don't think it's about years. It's about personnel. And we've talked about it a lot. And the Cronkies are a winning organization. Like KFC itself is a winning organization.
Sure.
They just don't invest in the Rapids to be a winning club. And
sure.
I think you could literally be a contender next year if you really wanted to. If the Cronkies really wanted to win an MLS Cup next year, they could. They really could. They could turn around and be like, here's all the money you need. Go get whatever you need. You're good to go. Like you don't. That's the beauty about soccer. It's one of those. It's kind of like college football now. Like you don't need years on years on years, and you don't need to develop players because players are so readily available, and you can go buy them out immediately and just bring them to your team and create a mega team immediately. It's just how much do you want it and how much do you care?
Yeah. And that's the beauty of soccer, and that's especially the beauty of MLS is that the parity in this league gives anybody a chance to win the cup. You mentioned owners and personnel. What better transition than to get into these roster decisions that dropped a little while ago from the Colorado Rapids. So what this means is these were just the decisions that were made on contracts.
Yeah.
Some contracts expired, some had options. The club had to decide which options they were picking up, which ones they weren't. I'll run through these, and then we'll talk about surprises, things that Yahya wants to rant about.
I think we only need to cover. I think we're.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot. There weren't a ton of players this year with contracts that were expiring. So the Rapids exercised contract options, meaning they're keeping these players. Goalkeeper Nico Hansen, who had a great season coming in and filling in for Zach Steffen. Homegrown players like Jackson Travis and Darren Yappy, obviously. Here are the options that they declined. There's 6 players involved in these declined options. Amadou, Sam Bassett, Big Mike Edwards, Nate Jones, Andreas Maxu, who we already knew, and Rafael Santos. Also, as mentioned in that presser, along with Maxu, midfielder and Rapids homegrown and favorite, Ali Laraz, are out of contract and eligible for free agency. What they said in the presser was that he's going to look into that, maybe looking in Europe. And also Calvin Harris is out of contract. So the players that the clubs are in conversations with out of those that are declined or out of contract are Amadou, Calvin Harris, Ali Larraz, and Rafa Santos. All right, let's hear it. You mentioned you were pissed about something.
Just this front office is, I don't know, man. It pisses me off so much. All last year, you just had an incredible year with Chris Harmons, by the way. Let's throw it back.
Incredible.
Let's throw it back before the start of this year, to the beginning of this last season. Let's throw it all the way back to last.
Okay, you're talking 2 seasons ago.
No. The beginning of this last season.
Okay.
You're coming off a great. Year with Chris Harmons. You don't make any big moves in the transfer window. You bring in Sam Bassett and you say that's our main guy. That's our big addition of the year. Sam Bassett never sees the day of light out there on the pitch. Plays maybe 5 games as subs. Does nothing.
Plays a few games, yeah.
And now, 1 year into the Bassett and Bassett experiment, he's gone. He's already option declined. The kid not even get a real start with Rapids 2. And he's already gone. What the hell are you doing with this team? If you're saying that's your big addition of last year, of your last summer window, and this is what you do of your last winter window, and this is what you do, you already let him go, then you're not putting Chris Harmons at the best place to win. You hurt him immediately by not doing anything, by not reinvesting anything in this player. It made no sense to me. That was your big addition. That's what they were talking about all summer long, all winter long. He's like, that's the guy. We brought him in because we know what he can do. That's going to be the big addition. And then you just let him go a year later. Wayne Frederick is still on the damn team. What are we doing? Rafa Santos, the guy that outplayed both your wingbacks, you declined it, and you are in discussions, but why would you do that? Unless it's the player actively telling you, I'm going to resign, just decline my option. I take it, but I really doubt anybody's chomping at the bit to resign with the Rapids without a head coach right now. I guarantee you he's waiting to see who the head coach is before he resigns, and he sees what kind of vision. Why wouldn't you just accept the option, bring him back, and then work it out afterwards? It just makes no sense because you also invested a trade in him. You're also trying to get him in here. Like, a lot of these players that they have invested in, they're letting go. The only thing I get, because that's an Ollie decision. That's Ollie trying to improve, and it hurts, but at least he's trying something. I don't get the declining of Rafa and Sam after you're begging them to stay, and you're saying these are big. You actively went out and got them, and then you just a year later are like, yeah, you're not doing this. Rafa didn't even get a full year. He got like half a month, like a month or two, and he helped played all the defensive line. It just makes no sense to me.
Could it be that Sam Bassett is not MLS quality?
It is.
It seems like you're worked up about this, but I feel after watching Sam Bassett play, I mean, obviously insanely good at DU. He was a finalist for, I forget the name of the national award. Obviously there's talent. The Sam Bassett signing or draft, I guess.
No, it was a signing.
No, it was a signing.
Yeah,
they brought him up. Yeah, through
Homegrown.
academy. Felt more like a PR move with Cole than like a soccer move to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just felt like the bulk of the messaging around Sam Bassett was around the Bassett Bros and having them both here. Again, not saying he obviously displayed mad talent at DU, and that's, I think he would have attracted some attention from multiple teams, that were looking to bring in a young player. It just didn't. I didn't see it. Now, look, he made some moves for R2, especially in the playoffs in that championship game. Like, he was involved and playing well. I don't know. If I had to choose between keeping Sam Bassett and opening up a roster spot to go get somebody, I don't know. It doesn't hurt me as much as it hurts you.
My issue is not that Sam Bassett's not on the team. Like, it has nothing to do with Sam himself. It has to do with how they portrayed the signing last summer or last winter of like, this is our big addition. your big addition's already your supposed big addition's already gone. Like, they phrased it. Like, Porig went out there and consistently said, this is the move we needed. More depth. We're good. Like, this is all we need in the forward position. They didn't address the wings at all because they brought in Sam Bassett. And he's already gone. That's my issue. My issue is like...
And 17 or 18 center backs.
That's my whole issue with this move. Like, it's not that I need Sam on the team or I thought he was good enough to be on the team. It's that this front office clearly didn't have a plan even for what they were doing. And they already let go of the one person that was supposed to help out their whole offensive plan, and he's already gone. Because he's not good enough, and you clearly didn't know how to scout, and you just scouted a name.
I think it's safe to say that last year's offseason was disappointing, regardless of what the name is. If it's Sam Bassett or any other name, the only real moves that were made, in my opinion, in the offseason were the Cheeto signing, Ian coming in. Was
that Josh?
I don't know if Josh came in when the season started or if he came in preseason. But a lot of the moves, a lot of the messaging we heard, at like media day, we talked to Coach Chris Armas, and he, was clearly given the orders of what the speaking was to what they were doing. And it was, they had a good season before, pretty good. So we like what we have. We're going to build from the foundation that we created. All of us and the fans were saying like, but you need wingers. That foundation is a little bit weak. And like you said, the wingers weren't brought in. They did bring in a carousel of backline players throughout the year, and not a lot on the wings. They did bring in Ted and stuff, but we didn't. What was I don't know. The results weren't good enough.
I think that's just my biggest.
And you saw it with Rafa Navajo. With as soon as Georgie was gone, like his goal scoring went down the tubes.
He lost all hope for the team. You could clearly see that he no longer believed in the project either.
There's just no one to get him the ball, right?
But even his work rate kind of dropped, and that was a rarity for
sure. Yeah, you did see a little bit of walking. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you.
Again, it bothers
just because I didn't.
It bothers me for the optics of it more than anything.
I just feel like the players that options were declined for are not players outside of Rafa Santos. Were not players that made major contributions to the Colorado Rapids first team, and first team is the operative part of what I just said. I do think Sam Bassett was very helpful in that championship run for R2. Amadou, obviously good work on R2. And when he did play, Mike Edwards, fan favorite, but I
would say diehard favorite.
Yeah,
only the diehard.
I don't know. I just don't see that as a big loss. Nate Jones never played.
I know my guy,
and he never played in Burgundy. Yeah. And then he went to Las Vegas and didn't play very much there on a team that arguably had one of the worst defenses in the league. Maxu, we already knew was out. Rafa Santos, to me, I'm encouraged to say that, the club remains in discussions with Amadou, Calvin Harris, Larraz, and Santos. Out of those four, for me, and then I'll throw it to you, is there one name, if you could only choose one name out of that four, it's got to be Santos.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's got to be.
Santos now feels like a Gutman kind of addition.
Yeah.
It feels like he's about to leave. Honestly, I do feel like it feels like he showed up, he did well in the final half of a bad season, and now he's like, I don't want to be here. I kind of found my groove again. Now I want to leave. It kind of feels like that, honestly.
Yeah. It could be. I don't know. I could see him staying with the club. I hope he stays with the club. We will see. I think some of that comes with Sam Vines. Sam Vines his contract is a lot of money. And Sam Vines has not had the best couple of years since he's been back. Santos is a lot cheaper. Though, I mean, obviously his price tag would probably go up a bit if they brought him back. Hey man, it's all about the monies, with this stuff.
It's about organizing it.
So, options that were exercised, Nico, Jackson Travis, Darren Yappy.
I think they're all good additions.
Great decisions on those. Yappy is obviously, the striker of the future, especially if we lose Hoffa Navajo. Jackson Travis, he's speedy. He's good on the back line. Nico put up just a crazy performance coming in for Zach Steffen.
Over and over again.
It would not surprise me if they bring Nico on just to sell him somewhere. Or you keep him because Zach's contract is up after this season, and then maybe Nico is your guy moving into the new MLS schedule structure starting in 2027. Let's see. Noah Cobb, Manyoma still on loan.
I think the rest
Cobb
of
the decision has to be made a little earlier, but Manyoma I think is still like in July.
I think all the other moves are pretty much just standard moves.
Yeah.
I think you want to get into the draft.
Yeah.
I want to do that to end the show.
Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into some silliness. Let's give you some quick updates. We were gonna jump into a couple more things.
Yeah.
But this is a Rapids podcast, so we're going to focus on the Rapids.
Yeah, that's my. We'll get into it next time.
We'll talk about U.S. men's national team. There's plenty of time for the World Cup, but they're looking good. There are a couple of just quick Summit FC things happening in Summit FC news. 25,000 plus seats already sold for the kickoff, which is what they're calling the inaugural home opener at Mile High. Incredible. I think they're only the bowl at the bottom seats 30,000. I think they'll eclipse that.
Yeah.
That's going to be a wild game. Other things to take a look at, Santa Fe Yards drama. Denver City Council approved rezoning the land to build a stadium on, but weren't so keen on the 50 million plus and how that gets spent for infrastructure and things around that. So Summit FC did what pro teams do and said, okay, we'll go look elsewhere, which is a normal thing to do for any sport. We'll see what happens. What do I think will happen? Mike Johnston, the mayor of Denver, is like so keyed up to leave his legacy as the guy who built some stadiums in Denver with the Broncos and Summit FC. I think he's going to push city council to pass some things. And I also think Summit owners will probably pay more than they wanted to make it happen. I still think the stadium happens at Santa Fe Yards.
Yeah, me too.
We finally see some defensive signings. Just real quickly, Summit FC signed 2 for the back line. Kaylee Kurtz, who is a veteran. She comes from Carolina Courage. She's 31. She has 4 seasons in a row of Iron Woman status, which is playing every minute of every game. She's a 2 times NWSL champ, 2 times NWSL Shield winner, 2-time NWSL Challenge Cup winner. Only a season ago in 2024, NWSL Best 11. She's clearly going to be the anchor of the back line. I think she's certainly a candidate for the captaincy of the team. The other player brought in, Megan Reed, also an Iron Woman in 2022, also got her first cap with the Canadian women's national team in 2024. She's coming over from Angel City. So Summit FC making some moves. We're going to jump into something silly. We're going to talk Thanksgiving. And we're going to do a little Thanksgiving draft. You're having Thanksgiving at your house. You got 3 options. You've got the adult table, you've got the kids table, and you've got the cold turkey, maybe not invited to the table. We're each going to get to draft somebody for one of those tables. Before we jump into that, a quick little statement for DNVR and all of ALLCITY. The Black Friday sale is happening right now for diehards and then opening up tomorrow for everybody. If you're not a diehard, up to 90% off on everything, 30% off of everything on the site, up to 90% off sale items on Super Sale. There's no better time to get an Up the Fucking Pids shirt. If you need a Pids shirt for you or as a gift, awesome Broncos, Nuggets, Avs, Buffs, Rams,
literally everybody.
Rockies, every team is represented here at the DNVR store. If you've got friends that live in Philadelphia, Chicago, Dallas, or Phoenix, hop into those sales as well. One thing you may not know, there are 70 products downstairs in the bar that you could just pick up right now that are included in that sale and take home with you. No shipping. You just go. Do your Christmas shopping at a bar. Who wants to go to the mall? Go to DNVR bar.
Get a bar.
Yes. Get a burger and a beer and then do your Christmas shopping. Come on, man. That's happening this weekend. Get in there. Get your shopping done. All right. Let's jump into it. The Turkey Day seating draft. Yahya, you get to go first. We're starting with the adult table. Which Rapid are you drafting to your Thanksgiving soiree at your adult table?
I think it's Darren Yappy. I think he gets the call up. He's been at the kids' table. He's finally matured.
Okay.
And I think he gets the call up to the adult table.
All right. Man, for my first for the adult table, I'm gonna go with Rob Holding because I think he is the stereotypical adult table guy. I think he's gonna be there with the family, have a little fun chit chat, and then eat as fast as he can to get over and watch some NFL.
I kind of love that.
That guy is an NFL fan. Like when we hung out, when he came on the show, and then we talked downstairs at the bar for a bit. He's a big NFL guy.
I love that for Rob, man.
So I think he's gonna eat real fast, do his time, say hi, be with the fam, and then he's gonna immediately run to the den, to the family room, watch some football. All right, it's kids' table.
For kids' table, I'm actually gonna put Cole Bassett there.
Okay.
He's that teenager that thinks he's an adult. He's like at that preteen kind of. He tries to act very mature, tries to do like all these things to get invited to the adult table. But deep down, everybody knows he's still a child. He still does child things, and he's not ready for that adult table area yet.
My answer is super obvious. Who's going to the kids' table? It's Reggie. Reggie Cannon. Reggie Cannon sits at the kids' table and likes it. Like it's not a demotion for him. Like he knows he's going to get to talk video games, anime, all of the all the things that Reggie is into.
I really do forget.
I don't think that dude wants to be at the adult table, and probably gets into a slap fight with other kids at the table just for fun.
I think he steals a lot of noses on that table.
So it's definitely it's Reggie Cannon for me and the at the kids' table. Our last category is the cold turkey table.
Or the not invited.
The not invited / you get the cold turkey. Who's it going to be?
I can make a really
This is a fast draft.
Yeah.
We're going.
Well, yeah, it's like options, like it's fast food Thanksgiving. The obvious answer that I'm not going to say could just be Chris Harmis. Like for obvious reasons, he's not invited.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say KFC is not invited to the cookout, not invited to Thanksgiving dinner. They literally paid for all of it and they still don't get invited. That's how bad of people they are.
Yikes.
That they don't get to be with everybody on a beautiful holiday.
All right. I'm using my not invited, my cold turkey take as a preemptive strike.
I know who you're going with.
It's Leo Messi, not invited to Thanksgiving because I don't think he's coming out here anyway. He'll find a reason to not come out to Commerce City after everybody buys their tickets. It'll be an Atlanta situation.
It'll be a Chicago. Who was it that was like, we want our money back? No, Houston.
Was it Houston? I'm thinking
like,
not Atlanta.
Like, we want our money back.
Yeah.
It's like, You paid for the game, not for the player. It's a lot
Yeah,
different.
so I'm getting my preemptive strike in.
Okay.
You're not invited because you're probably not going to come to my Thanksgiving party anyway.
So it's kind of a like, you don't want me, I don't want you situation.
Pretty much. That's what it's going to be. Only Leo Messi would find a way to be injured to not come to Thanksgiving. We do love Leo Messi.
Like, I love Messi, dude. He's my favorite.
We love Messi, but it's also fun to joke on.
We're just trying not to be hurt.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
All right, folks, that wraps it up for our pre-Turkey Day festivities. Thanks for being in the chat, talking some Rapids. So much going on right now. Special thanks to the Rapids themselves. I reached out yesterday. Quick coaching update.
No coaching update.
well, there's not much to it, so it's just quick.
No, I mean like the coaching update is that there's no update.
Yeah, is that well? There's a little bit of an update. So we talked to the club yesterday, and here's what we know. It's not much, but it's optimism, right? Like things are happening. The club is in the final stages. I don't know what the definition of that means, but I think we can guess. If I had to guess, that means they've got some candidates. They're probably going through those conversations and interviews with those candidates. And the plan is to have that person on the Rapids in Burgundy by the end of the year. So end of December is the plan. That's not very much time, folks. You're looking at just over 30 days, and we'll have a new coach here with the Colorado Rapids. Things are well underway. Lots to be excited for, lots to be thankful for at this Thanksgiving time. As always, Dion, thank you so much for producing on the ones and twos with us. Yahya, I'm Duane. From us to you, happy Thanksgiving. And as always, up the Pids.
We all silly like the mayor.